I've got a question for you.
Why can't I open my eyes when I'm outside?
It's a good question. So probably it's to do with the fact that your eyes let in too much light. So the iris, the coloured bit, which blocks out light and works like an aperture of a camera, that has lots of holes in it, like a net curtain rather than a blackout curtain. So that means too much light goes in. So on a bright day particularly, it would be the equivalent of me perhaps going out in extreme bright light and trying to stare at the sun. So that's the kind of effect you're getting. Even on dull days though, if it's a sudden increase in light from what you've been used to inside, that's going to make it really difficult for you to see. So it's essentially like me looking at the sun. So you'll screw up your eyes and it'll be almost impossible to open them. Is that what you're noticing, do you think?
Yeah, so I know that not everybody's like me. I literally can't go outside without wearing sunglasses because my eyes just don't open. But I know not everyone with albinism is like that. Like, people have different tolerances to different light and stuff like that. But the next part of that question is, why does it hurt? Because I feel like sometimes when people who don't have albinism talk about, oh, it's really bright outside, I think their idea of bright is really different to my idea of bright. Because bright for me, it also means I can't open my eyes, but it really hurts. It literally hurts.
Yeah, it's a good question. I guess it's probably something to do with it being an evolutionary thing, right? So it's an evolutionary good idea that if I stare at the sun, something happens to me and makes me not do that because it's going to damage my eyes. So that's a combination of it feeling really bright and discomfort and pain, and therefore not doing it. And that, I guess it's that mechanism, that kind of evolutionary advantage that unfortunately you're suffering in normal light levels because your eyes are letting too much light in. So your brain's doing all the right things that would be appropriate if you were staring at something super bright that was bad for you, and you had eyes that blocked out normal light levels. But I suspect that's probably what's happening. So the pain will be part of that reflex, I guess.
And is it damaging if you have albinism? Can bright like sun damage your eyes?
So that's a really good question. The answer is probably. It's very hard to imagine how that wouldn't be the case. So we know that over a lifetime, more UV light going in through an eye in someone who hasn't got albinism can increase the risk of problems with your retina, kind of age-related changes, that kind of stuff, and even cataract. So it's hard to imagine that in someone whose eye lets in more light than normal, it's not also going to do that in an accelerated way unless you protect your eyes to some degree. But it's probably hand in hand with that photophobia, as we call it, that problem with bright lights that you experience where you can't open your eyes. That's probably telling you that you need to do something to protect your eyes. It's not very nice, but it's almost a useful thing, because I guess the alternative would be that you didn't suffer that at all, and you had far too much light going in your eyes over decades. That would cause very much accelerated problems at the back of the eye and in the lens. So I think the answer is yes. Too much light in the eye in anybody over a lifetime can cause damage, and in someone with an albinism, that's probably going to be accelerated if you don't do things to try and reduce that light going in. But most people with albinism would probably do that anyway because of the symptoms that it induces.
If you've got anything else you want us to discuss or any burning questions you want us to answer, then please put it in the comments below.
And if you could press some of those buttons at the bottom, the heart ones, the thumb ones, whatever they are, apparently that's good to get people to see these videos. So please do that.